I'm here with Senator Michael Bennet, the Democrat from Colorado, who was in the room yesterday when the Gang of Six presented its plan. First of all, thank you for the time. You listened to that presentation. You left convinced this is the plan that can solve the nation's fiscal problems?
I left convinced of a couple things. One, that it was the best bipartisan plan that we've seen, the only one. And second, as I've said on your program before, people in Colorado are pretty clear with me about what they want here. They want a plan that materially addresses the problem. They want to know that we're all in it together, and they want to know that it's bipartisan. And I would add one corollary to that, which is that the capital markets need to be reassured that their paper's worth what they paid for it. This plan satisfies those tests.
Now, the question in that room, and you had a number of Republicans there, was whether or not Republican senators would back this plan as well. You've been an advocate from the start. Were you surprised with the reception it got from Republicans, and does it mean you got 60 votes in the Senate?
I was a little surprised in the sense that one of the most common words that you hear around this place these days is no to everything. And what I think I saw in that room yesterday were yes, senators, but also Americans that understand that we can't default on our debt, and that our credit rating is something that is very, very dear to us, an incredible asset to the United States. And that's why you're seeing Republican and Democratic support for a plan that's actually comprehensive and far-reaching.
You've worked in financial markets. You know how people are watching this August 2nd deadline. There are real questions here. This place doesn't move all that quickly. There's no chance this plan can be considered by August 2nd. So what happens?
Well, I think, first of all, this place is ludicrous in the sense that nothing ever gets solved until it has to get solved. No one would run their business that way. No one would run a local government that way. But that's how Washington runs. Now, here we find ourselves with our back against the wall, and people are going to have to get very creative about how we, on the one hand, lift the debt ceiling, which we must do, and at the same time give the American people a sense that we actually not just are beginning to get our fiscal house in order, but are moving past a dysfunctional stage in our politics to the other side. So I don't know whether this is a sidecar of some kind that sits with the plan that Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell are trying to make, but somehow we've got to give the Congress direction moving forward that we're serious about taking roughly $4 trillion out over the next 10 years.
You've got House Republicans yesterday passing their own deficit reduction plan that's dead on arrival in the Senate. The president said he's already going to veto it. To what extent? I mean, we don't have House Republicans rushing to embrace it. A lot of them non-committal at this point. Can you bring House Republicans along?
I don't know. We're going to have to see. But no is not an answer to the American people, and no is not an answer to a downgrade of this nation's debt. So I have to believe, as a taxpayer and as a dad, more than as a senator, that we're going to find our way through this thing.
Right now, you've got markets aren't punishing the United States. In fact, markets were lifted yesterday by even word of this. What's your message to investors right now who are watching this?
My message is to please let any member of Congress know how vital it is to secure the full faith and credit of the United States, that people ought to knock it off, sharpen their pencils, roll up their sleeves, and get to work. That's what they should be saying.
Has business been on the sideline for too long here?
I wish that business had been more involved. I've been making calls with Mark Warner, my colleague from Virginia, over the past several weeks, both in my state and across the country. And I hear from them the same thing that I'm hearing from Coloradans, which is, let's get a balanced big plan here and get on with it.
What are the risks right now? We hit August 2nd. We don't have a deal.
I shudder to think what happens if we don't make it to August 2nd without any deal that can get us over the debt ceiling short term. We have to do that. If we don't, what we risk is our bond rating, and what we risk is blowing up the capital markets. And as I've said before, if we do that, nobody's going to remember what promise people made about this pledge or that pledge. They're just going to know we were here when we destroyed the capital markets.
All right. Senator Michael Bennet, Democrat of Colorado, thanks very much for the time.